I used to believe that family was something unshakable. A foundation built on blood and history, on the thousand small sacrifices that bound people together. But as I sat at that lone candlelit Thanksgiving table, surrounded by the people I once called my own, I realized how naive I had been. It started with my wife. She stood up the crystal in her wine glass, catching the warm light of the chandelier. She had that careful performative smile on her face, the one she wore when she wanted to seem graceful while cutting someone to pieces. The room quieted. "We voted," she announced, her voice honeyed but sharp. "And you're not family anymore." A beat of silence. Then, as if they'd been waiting for the cue, the table erupted into cheers. Laughter. Toasts clinking against one another. I sat there still a stone, my fingers resting against the edge of my plate. The turkey, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, it was all suddenly surreal. Like a tableau frozen in time, a Norman Rockwell painting turned grotesque. I felt something inside me crack, a fault line I hadn't realized was there. Then I laughed softly at first. And as their cheers died down, my hand moved. I reached into my jacket and pulled out a thick, manila folder, setting it on the table with an almost reverent touch. My wife's smile faltered. The laughter in the room wavered, uncertain. "Then I guess you won't need this," I said. She stared at me. "What is that?" she asked, her voice no longer quite so smooth. I gestured for her to open it. The moment her fingers flipped the first page, her face drained of color. Then she started screaming. This wasn't sudden betrayal. Never is. It was a slow erosion, a silent infection, spreading through the bones of my marriage, my relationships. It started with small exclusions. Little whispers behind closed doors. A feeling of being other, even in my own home. At first, I ignored it. I told myself I was imagining things. My wife was busy, my in-laws distant but well-meaning. I made excuses. But then I found the messages. A family group chat I hadn't been included in. Conversations about how they saw me as an outsider. How they tolerated me but never truly accepted me. And my wife, my partner, the woman I had built a life with, was leading the charge. "Honestly, we need to start cutting him out. He's more of a burden than a husband." I read those words a dozen times, hoping I had misunderstood. I hadn't. That was the moment the love I had for her started to wither. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. I waited. I watched. And when I discovered the truth, the full, undeniable truth, I knew I needed more than confrontation. I needed justice. My wife's hands trembled as she flipped through the documents. Photographs. Screenshots of conversations. Bank statements showing the slow siphoning of funds from our joint account into one under her name alone. Legal documents she had started filing, intending to divorce me after this dinner, after ensuring that I was utterly humiliated and left with nothing. The room, once so filled with laughter, had gone silent. I leaned back, watching as realization dawned on her face. How did you?" she choked out. "I've known for a while," I said simply. The others shifted uncomfortably. My mother-in-law reached for the papers, scanning them with whitening eyes. My brother-in-law muttered something under his breath, shaking his head. I stood up, adjusting my sleeves. "I won't waste any more of your time," I said, my voice calm. "I just wanted you all to see what real betrayal looks like." Then I turned to my wife. "You wanted me gone? Congratulations. You got your wish." I walked toward the door. Just before stepping out, I glanced back at the table one last time. The place I had once thought of as home. "Enjoy your dinner," I said. And then I left free, finally free.